Breaking news, this new video, and this is very new video. It is of another incident with Alex Preddy. It has just emerged. It shows a physical clash between Alex Preddy and federal agents over a week before he was fatally shot by Customs and Border Protection officers. Now, a representative from the family is confirming to CNN that the man seen in the footage is Preddy. Without further ado, let me just let you see it for yourself in full. I should have said that. Okay, so there was no audio on that. As you know, obviously, you might have thought maybe that your volume was not working, but there was no volume on it. But I think you saw it very clearly there. So, Priscilla, tell us exactly what we see there. I think everybody watching this now can recognize Alex Preddy there kicking that tail light. But tell us exactly what we know happened and any context that you've learned.
Yeah, Aaron, and as a reminder, this is a physical clash that happened between Alex Preddy and federal agents over a week before he was fatally shot in Minneapolis this past weekend. So let's walk through that video. You see him there shouting and also kicking a tailgate on that vehicle as it drives away. There you're seeing the tackling of the federal agents. This whole interaction only lasts a few seconds. Now, you'll also notice here in a bit that there does appear to be a gun that is tucked in his waistband. It's unclear, however, if the agents notice it. There you see the gun tucked into his waistband. Now, they do not disarm him, and as we see later in that video, the agents walk away. It is unclear, Aaron, however, what happened before this video and what happens afterwards. I am told, however, that the Department of Homeland Security is reviewing this video. Recall that they are part of this investigation into the fatal shooting last weekend. A few other notes of context, Aaron. This was filmed less than 2 miles from the scene of the deadly encounter this past weekend, and afterwards. I am told, however, that the Department of Homeland Security is reviewing this video. Recall that they are part of this investigation into the fatal shooting last weekend. A few other notes of context, Aaron. This was filmed less than 2 miles from the scene of the deadly encounter this past weekend, and as you can see from his attire, he is wearing similar clothing as he was, again, this past Saturday. Now, Aaron, your viewers may remember, CNN previously reported just yesterday that Preddy did have an encounter with federal agents a week prior to Saturday where he suffered a broken rib. It is unclear, however, if the video we're seeing here is of that incident. And Aaron, we are continuing to review additional footage of what unfolded here. But again, this is a physical clash between Alex Preddy and federal agents over a week before he was shot by U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents on Saturday in Minneapolis.
But this is very significant that we're actually looking at this.
It is, and it raises a whole raft of different questions. But one question is, and it goes back to the tactics, behavior, and procedures of these officers. So here you have an individual who is kicking their car, breaks a taillight. The officers immediately get out of the car, grab him, wrestle him to the ground, or attempt to. For 25 seconds, they're struggling with him. It does not appear that during that time, even though he wriggles out of his coat and escapes their grasp, that they detect or know that he has a loaded firearm in the small of his back in a holster.
Right.
So they missed that. But
which in the case where he died, of course, they saw it, removed it, and then subsequently he was shot.
Exactly. So that's a kind of a pattern of poor tactics that we're seeing here, because if someone destroys government property, breaks a taillight on a vehicle, and you get out and you wrestle with that person, the normal thing to do is to arrest that person. If
you don't beat them up and leave them there, right? That's just not. That's
exactly.
Not. Okay. Just to be clear.
And in fact, the unwritten rule is, if you end up in a physical confrontation where you end up rolling around on the ground with somebody enough to maybe even create an injury, that usually follows with an arrest. Otherwise, you're just committing an assault under the color of law and leaving. So the fact that they didn't take police action is another deficit in kind of what are the rules of engagement and what does law have to do with it?
Right. So operating outside the law, outside of precedent, outside of norm, outside of training, sloppy, all of that true. When it comes to the next incident, I was saying to you, as you and I were getting ready to come to air, I was saying, well, in a sense, the two may be completely unrelated, right? If he comes upon a group of, he's protecting the woman that he was trying to do, and there's a group of Customs and Border Patrol officers, and that would end so tragically. But you raised a very interesting point, which...
So the question is, are any of the agents involved in the confrontation we just looked at 11 days before, any of the same agents who encountered him on Saturday that ultimately led to him being shot to death? In other words, one of the questions we've been asking as we look at that video is the government narrative. The first version was he approached agents with a gun. In fact, when you look at the videos, they approached him rather aggressively, and we don't know the answer to this. But if they were the same agents from the earlier encounter, were they still upset? Were they angry at him over what he did to their car, the fact that they tried to arrest him and he got away? Was that a factor? And until we figure out which agents were at both encounters, we won't know that.
No, and obviously they have, none of that information has been released. Although, of course, as we point out, Attorney General Bondi is very quick to release mugshots of people that they arrested today. But we don't yet know those identities of those, of the people who shot him yet. All right.